nobody thought that this was an art form. They only show it as a way of documenting either historical or ordinary events. It took decades for some people to say, perhaps photography could be an art form. You know, before painting, there was no painting. It looks like an obvious thing, but it's a fact. You ask, when did painting on canvas start? It's a relatively recent, in the Renaissance in Europe. That's 500 years. In human history, this is not much. So, and now, why is it that there was a time when the main artistic form were glass and light, the stained glass in the cathedrals in the medieval period in Europe? And now, rarely somebody will think of glass and stained glass as an art form. There are still some people doing it, many, and sometimes you see it in public and private spaces, but not as a mainstream. Things change. I don't see any problem in using tools that AI can give us. Now, but at the end of the day, it's like a camera. You talk with photographers, they tell you, cameras do not take photographs, photographers take. So you don't get a good photograph because you have a $5,000 camera. No, if you are a really good photographer, you can take a really good photograph with a $300 phone camera. If you are a great photographer.
Exactly.
And if you don't know about photography, you can have a $5,000 or a $10,000 camera. You will produce lousy photographs. Now, the same thing in a way can be said with AI. If it is used as a tool, yes, it allows the artist create new things like cinema. Cinema is the same thing. It started not as an art form, but now it allows. So I'm not afraid. I think artists, if instead of using a brush physical, they use a digital brush, it's a brush. I know of a very good artist, extraordinary artist, Anthony Aseku. He is a digital artist, and he sells his works as NFT, digital art. And I have been in his studio talking with him, and it's a couple of huge computer screens and very, very powerful computers with very good applications. And he is there designing, creating artworks. And he is creating them. Now, I could go to AI and say, create an artwork of Patrick in his sitting room. And AI will do something. But I doubt there will be something of value and of quality. Now, if a good artist, not me. If a good artist goes and uses an AI tools to create an artwork of Patrick, probably he will do something, perhaps technically not better, because all the process of the small representation, the computer does it better than any hand. Not that, but the quality, the meaning, somebody has to create that. We are human beings. We have something that machines will never have, I believe. And if somebody thinks that machines will ever be able to do all that we can do as human beings, a machine cannot love. A machine cannot have compassion. An algorithm cannot have compassion. An algorithm can be designed to react in a way that imitates compassion. Fair. But the machine will not have compassion. The machine will not cry. The machine will not be moved. The machine will not be touched. A human being has a soul. We are spiritual beings. And I don't only mean religious, spiritual. Machines are not. Okay, anyway, that's another big issue.
So maybe this question, I mean, so when you speak about Nigerian art to an international audience, or when you're trying to introduce Nigerian art to international markets, etc., what's that one big challenge that always comes up, and how have you been able to navigate it?
It's, as I was saying before, I think I'm a little bit afraid of putting everybody in the same bucket.
Mm-hmm.
There are many artists doing many things. Now, okay, can we see general features of art in Nigeria? Yes. We see, for instance, that for now it's very commercial. That's a reality because of what I was saying before, of the role that the market is playing. So, and the economic situation, you knew the number of artists who call me, or probably to many of you, they say, yes, I haven't sold an artwork for 2 months. I had to take care of my family. Can you buy an artwork? Unfortunately, I say, sorry, go to a big man or somebody who has the money. I cannot, but I will try to help. So this is a context that is real. Then still, the art in Nigeria is rather parochial, because though some people are part of global discourses and global trends and most artists are not. They don't know, they don't read, they don't see. This is hard. The other day I had a professor from Suka, an art department, and he says, and we were in front of a couple of the ENUGUs that we have there in the museum. And he says, that some of my students will finish their degree in art in Nigeria, not having seen physically a work by ENUGU. That limits, that's sad. He said, perhaps we could organize that they come, to bring them all the way here. This is sad. Talking to some of them, say, have you ever been in a museum? An artist, a professional artist, say, no, I had never been in a museum. So